Brother Nashi, I am a broken man. I do come from Zim, and I have come here because I have my own confession that I wish to share with you. And I hope that people are not going to be judgmental. I'm not just a success story, but there is something that I did. I always go and I put flowers on the grave of my late wife. She was the mother to my only son. She is dead, and I had to choose. It was a matter of me choosing my life, or she was going to kill me. I am writing this to you so early in the morning because I can't sleep. Every time when I close my eye, I see her. She will be in my room. I have been seeing Koketso ever since I sacrificed her, and she is telling me that I need to go and tell her parents all what I did to her. Otherwise, she'll keep on appearing in my dreams, appearing in my car, even when I am driving. I see her ghost physically. Brother Nashi, I have a question that I want to ask you, Brother Nashi, and your listeners. Am I to be blamed? Here is my full story. I came to South Africa the first time around. It was in the year 2007. After I had finished writing my O-level, I went to Harare and I started working as a gardener. The people that I was working for, they were so cruel towards me. I worked for nearly a year and they started to refuse to give me my salary because I had told them that I do not want any money. Since I was eating there and they had given me a room to stay, I wanted to take a driver's license so that I can start driving some trucks. And I had seen that the money that they were giving to me, it was not a lot. So I spoke with the man, my boss, and I said, how about you keep the money, and at the end of the year you give me the money, then I can go and do a driver's license and I can start driving trucks. I was still young and I was stupid. I did not know the way of the world, how life is, and how people are jealous, especially if you are working for them. They have no intentions to ever see you succeed. The moment that you try to show them that you know that you are not okay in the situation that you find yourself in, they would find ways to make sure that you will never succeed. I trusted everyone and I let that man to keep the money that he gave me each and every month. He said that he was going to keep it in the bank. But when it was the end of the year, it was another story. He told me that he could not give me all of the money all at once. I asked him why he did not want to give me all of my money at once. He told me that because he had kept the money in the bank, and as for the rate, it was killing him because he was giving me US dollars, and he said that he needs to go to the bank to change, and the bank was not using US dollars at the exchange rate. He told me a lot of stories, and he gave me money which was not enough for me to go and do a driver's license. I had been friends with another guy who was also working as a garden boy. He told me that he knew of Malaysians. They will bring you to South Africa. These were the years when South Africa was getting ready for the World Cup. They were looking for a lot of Zimbabweans that they could use to build the stadiums, people who could work even day and night. As for me, I thought that it was far much better to come to South Africa. I came to South Africa, then I started working. Life was okay, but I saw that in order for me to succeed in South Africa, I was not supposed to be just a normal migrant worker. I returned back home, as hard as it was, and I took myself to college where I was trained as a boiler maker and I was trained as well as a diesel plant fitter. I am not a lazy man. I worked for free. I was working for this other man back home, but I was working in a mining town in Kwekwe because one lecturer gave me advice and he said, if you can find a place where there is a mine, you go, you work there, you'll get all the experience that you say that you need. I worked 2009, 2010, end of 2010, then I came to South Africa. Brother Nashi, I had experience just that there was no way for me to get papers in South Africa. I then spent years working in Rustenburg, in Secunda. I was doing work that no one ever wanted to do. I could work where you could not see the sun for more than 12 hours. I was good at my job. I am good at welding, and my engines that I fixed, they never failed. And as a migrant worker, there is a ceiling when you are in a country that is not your country. There is a stage which you cannot pass, no matter how educated you are, no matter how hard I worked. I was always worried about my papers, because the people that I was working for, they knew about my legal status. They would literally hide me whenever there was an inspection that was going on, because I was training 20 South Africans at once that were supposed to become diesel plant fitters. So they knew that I was valuable, because they knew that if these people would have gone to a college and then they do their training, they won't be as experienced as someone that has been taught on the job. So they were teaching these 20 South Africans right there on the job how to do welding, how to fix the engines at the mine. And that was the work that I was doing. My employers, they would hide me whenever there was an inspection that was supposed to be done. I always worried that one day maybe I will go through a roadblock and that will be the end of my South African story. Then I met a woman whom I'll call Koketso. It was in 2012. She was a local girl. I loved her a lot. She had a friend that was working as a receptionist at one of the mine offices where I went to fix some generators. She was beautiful. When I met her, she was humble and she liked me and I liked her as well. We started talking and she became my first real girlfriend in this country of South Africa. I came to South Africa as a virgin. I had never slept with a woman in my entire life. I can say that South Africa made me to be the person that I am right now. I think that a lot of people that come from my country, they became who they are because of South Africa. When I came here, I did not even know how to use an ATM. The first time when I had been sent to Northwest by my boss, when he gave me his bank card, I did not even know how to use that bank card, and I was assisted by a security at the ATM. This girl, she saw something in me. We started talking. She was unemployed. She was just staying in Rustenburg. She became my first girlfriend, and then in 2014, we decided to get married. I'm not going to lie to you, because if you lie, you can't get real help. Brother Nashi, me and Koketso, we loved each other. She never wanted to marry me. She never wanted to get married to anyone. And she got married to me because it was a marriage of convenience. I explained my situation to him and I said, I can take care of you, Koketso. I can give you the life that you want. But first, I need to be a permanent resident here in South Africa. She asked me what was supposed to be done, like what was he supposed to do? Must he go with me to Home Affairs? Then she speaks with them, and I told her that no, we have to find a lawyer who is going to take us through the process. That is how it became a marriage of convenience. She wanted a boyfriend that will take care of her financially, and I also wanted a South African woman to help me to get a permanent resident here in South Africa so that I can work for big companies, because I was just working and I was not being given my money with a pay slip. It was just money that will be handed to me through an envelope, as if I was not even working. If I tell you the name of this mine, you will be shocked. I was the only worker there that was not someone that was said to be working for that mine. I'll just do my stuff, and if you will get hurt, they would quickly rush you to the private doctors because they don't want you to die at their workplace, since I was not a registered worker. So it was very difficult. They could not give me the money that I wanted. Over time, the love, it became more than real. She fell pregnant, and when our son was born, I felt like I finally had a root in this South African soil. Around the time of load shedding, when it started getting bad, I saw a gap in the market. With the background as a DP fitter, I started a company to service and fix industrial generators, because I could fix a generator even when I am fast asleep. Not these small Ryobi generators, I am talking about industrial generators. Because I finally had my papers, I could apply for the big government tenders and contracts, as well as Koketso. Her being a black woman, she was going to be put ahead because she was a woman director and a black woman as well. So she did not know anything about what I was doing. She was just a director. She was my wife. I started working, and Koketso was right there with me. We would drive together. If we had to fix a generator, she would accompany me, try to assist me, even though she had no idea. Sometimes she would be sitting in the car watching some movies on the laptop. We moved from a shack to a flat, then from the flat to a house in the suburbs that we owned, and finally a mansion in Senton, where I am staying right now. We were a team. I gave her everything that she asked for. I put her name on the company documents. I bought for her a Mercedes, and I trusted her with every money that I had, because she was the woman that had made me to be who I was in South Africa. Without her, I was nothing. With her by my side, I was going to run a very big empire, and I never even cheated on her. There was a time when Koketso would refuse to have sexual intercourse with me. I would rather watch pornographic material in the bathroom and release the stress and the tension, relieving myself, than to go out there and sleep with other women, even though I had the financial muscle to do that. But I respected her for what she had done for me. I thought that we were building an empire for our son, but I did not know that as we were getting rich, a family back in her home province, they were telling her things that were not even existing. They were giving her poison to put in my food. They told her bad stuff. All that they saw was the house that belonged to us in Senton, all the cars that I would buy for him, and I am someone that is not stingy. If she would ask for 100k to give to her mother, her brother, I would give to her. They did not see me as a husband. They saw me as a foreigner who was eating their daughter's money. They did not know that even though she was a director, but if I die, then it meant that the engine of the company has died. The company will stop working and functioning. So her cousin started telling her, why share this wealth with the Zimbabwean? If he dies, what is going to happen to you? This man, you don't need him anymore. You are already a millionaire. You have $1 million in the bank. But this was a bank account that belonged to her and me, because it was our business bank account. They convinced her that I did not mean anything, and she did not need me. She started to mistreat me, brother, such that she would go out and drink, and when she would come back, the way that she would look at me, because I'm someone that don't drink alcohol, but all of a sudden she was this woman that was always rude, that never wanted to be around me. In early 2021, my life started to fall apart. I am a strong man, Brother Nashi. I am a boiler maker. I have been working hard, but suddenly I was always tired. And at home, I was always frustrated because she would refuse to speak to me. We then started sleeping in separate bedrooms. Then my sister, when I told her that I was not okay, my sister, she was staying in Durban, She just said, why don't you go to the doctors? I was losing weight by then. I felt as if there was something that was eating me in my stomach, and it was as if I have HIV/AIDS. I went to the best doctors. They did blood test and MRI scan. They thought that there was something that was wrong with my liver. I knew myself. I knew that I was okay, but there was something that was eating me. What hurt the most was that Koketso, she did not want to be there for me. She will just ignore me. And she started going out with different men. I knew that my wife was now cheating on me. My sister, when she came to Joburg, she cried. I was bedridden in my own mansion, watching my life fade away, and I would cry and say, God, my son is still too young. I could not even sign documents, could not even go to meetings. My sister, she came all the way from Durban. When she saw me, she cried. She looked at me and she said, God gives. This is my name, my real name, brother. And she said, there is something that is wrong. We need to go back home. Koketso refused and she said, you're not going to take my husband anyway. My sister said, I am taking my brother back to Zim. We went to Zim. We stayed in our village in Jevu. We waited for a traditional healer who was supposed to come and see me, but I could not wait anymore. I spoke with my relatives. We had a family meeting. Then we went to Nyanga. That was where I was assisted. When we traveled from Jevu going to Nyanga, I felt like I was dying. Every time when the car that I was in would hit the gravel road, I'll start to cry because I would feel so much pain in my joints. When we arrived at the healer's shrine, they rushed and they started to help me. He looked at me and he told me that I had been given slow poison. And I said, slow poison by whom? He said, I'm not going to tell you because you'll think that maybe your relatives have told me. I knew what it meant. It was only Koketso, my wife, who had given me slow poison. I was then taken into another room where there was a big dish that was brought into that consultation room. My relatives were there. Then they poured water that had been taken from the mountains, and I was told that this water was taken from a river high up in the mountain, and there are marine spirits that stay there, and this water, it was going to show me everything. Brother Nashi, I saw what I can call a spiritual television. The water in that dish became clear, and I saw my house in Senton. I saw my kitchen. Then I saw Koketso. She was there. She was looking around to make sure that she was alone. Then she pulled a small plastic from her bra, and there was fine powder inside the plastic. And then she started to pour the brown powder inside my coffee cup. And then she came to me and she brought me the coffee and she gave me the coffee. I was sitting in her car when she gave me this coffee. I was busy working on some contracts, speaking with my other workers on the phone. And she gave me the coffee as if she was someone that cared for her husband. She did this to me. I saw it in that spiritual television. Koketso would give me coffee 3 times a day for a month. Every time she would kiss me whenever she would give me this coffee and tell me not to work hard, otherwise I will die quick. She was the one who killed me. I then looked at the healer and I said, so what am I supposed to do? The healer then told me that in order for me to be okay, I was supposed to get Koketso killed. He brought out a black goat and I was given a ritual knife and I stabbed the goat at the shrine, and that is how I killed my wife. When I returned back to South Africa, I was okay. Even Koketso, she was surprised. She nearly fainted. when she saw me, because I traveled back to South Africa, a healed man. I was driving my friend's car. When I walked into our house, Koketso looked like she had seen a ghost. She dropped the tray that she was carrying. She tried to act happy. She came and she hugged me, but I knew that she was afraid. 5 months later, that was when she had cancer. She had cancer and she passed away. We buried her and I made sure that she had an expensive funeral. I have money, Brother Nashi. I am dating a woman. I don't know if I am going to marry this woman. I can't trust anyone else again. It's only me and my son in this world right now. Even though my son, I don't stay with him at all the times. My son stays with a granny at all the times. But whenever I think about this, my heart, it breaks. I always see the ghost of my late wife. She comes to me, she blames me, she wants me to tell her parents. Brother Nashi, I cry for her each and every night. I had no choice in this matter. She had given me slow poison. I was given herbs to cleanse my stomach, otherwise I was going to die. I want your listeners to tell me, was I wrong in killing my wife or not? Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us speak with him in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo.